Today I'm going to show you guys how to glue some new rubbers onto your new racket, okay? So basically I'm going to show you how to do that. Here's my new racket. Just got it yesterday. What you will need is maybe some kind of a roller. This one is stainless steel. It's probably like 1 inch by maybe 7 inch here. You might need to roll in a really sharp razor and some glue. Here I'm using some Butterfly Free Shack Pro, so it should be really good. And you will need like a cutting board, and I'm using this hardback from a book, and so this thing's pretty solid. You don't want something that's too hard, because you will cut this razor, or you will cut the rubber right around it. You don't want something too hard. First of all, we're going to start out by taking out the rubber. I can use this to, let me just see if I can get it off. Yeah, so before playing, you should glue your blade and rubber maybe 2 days ahead, so the rubber will be dry and you can have practice on it too if you want to. Alright, so here it is, some brand new one. Man, that smells good. Some really nice stuff, man. I'm gluing some hurricane stuff. Alright, this is what my brother ordered me. So first thing first, we're gonna glue the rubber on first, okay? So make sure it's free of dirt. You know, it's free of dirt. Before we get started, let me get my glue here ready. Here's my Butterfly Shack Pro. Shake it a little bit. And one thing I forgot to tell you guys is I'm gonna glue light, okay? So maybe I might want to use a used credit card or some kind of a hard surface plastic maybe, and I will be using that. I want a light film of glue on here. Let me go get my okay, so I'm using my bank card, you know, which is pretty steady. When I do that, I will eventually, you know, get a light glue surface area here. That's what I'll be using. And yesterday when I got this blade, I was able to spray some polyurethane on it, maybe a light coat on each side, to make it easy when you take off the rubber next time. And it helps to the wood from peeling off when you're getting your rubber off for next time. So shake this really good. I'm gonna start with these rubber. Okay, here we go. Alright, before we do that, let's get my credit card here ready and one of my sponge. Okay, so we just want to get the sponge ready. Yeah, these sponge are, just go right into the middle. Try to make it go even, just like that. I want to go like maybe about that much, you know, because if you make it go too far out, then they waste a lot of glue, okay? So make sure they stick on there good. Get that ready. Got my credit card ready. Got my racket there. I'm gonna do a light coat on my blue one here. So looks like it's good enough. I'm gonna open it. Alright, here we go. You wanna start out slow like that, and then get your credit card here ready so you can go this way. A light. Yeah, you don't want anything too hard. I mean, like too soft, so you have to use this credit card. And I'll put some over here just because I want it light. I can use the sponge, and the sponge will actually work better, but I want a thin coat of glue, and this is why I'm doing it this way. Yep, make sure you get everything going good. Put some over here. The most important thing is try to get the bottom and the top, just because it's very important that you do the whole thing here like I'm doing. Yep, just keep doing until the glue just kind of stay on there. Alright, and put the excess glue over here. Okay, and go light on it. Yeah, so I think that's good enough. Wipe off the excess if you drip some down here, because these glue does dry really fast, but you don't want extra glue hanging out because it will get heavy on your racket. Okay, this is how I do it. You can do whatever you want, but this is, if you want a light coat, this is how you do it. Okay, got my credit card here all glued up. Okay, I'm just cleaning this off. Alright, and then while I'm letting that sit, I'm going to put a light coat of glue onto my racket. You got to decide which side you want to put your racket, which color. So you pick now. Okay, I want the blue to be on my forehand or whatever. To me, it really doesn't matter because you can always flip this, you know. But some blade, they do have like different side, you know, depending on if you have a softer side or a hard side. It don't matter because this side right here is actually good for both sides. It doesn't matter which way I put it. So I'm gonna put the blue side maybe with the label going up, and so I told you guys I sprayed some polyurethane on here last night, and I waited like more than 8 hours to dry. So now it's dried up, and so I'm gonna get some glue here ready for this. All right, just a little bit, okay? You don't want to go too much. If you go too much, there's gonna be too much glue, and you're gonna be wasting glue. Okay, I'm gonna start out by just going back and forth like this, even things out. Okay, just go back and forth. Make sure you get the really ends of the corner, because they will not hold, or they will start to peel from the edge. Okay, so I think this is good enough. Um, I'm going up one more time just to make sure I didn't get the edge. Spread them out from up to lower. Here's a really nice coat of it, and I'm gonna let this sit until it dry. So bear with me, okay? Might take a few, I don't know, minute, maybe anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. All right. The reason is I don't want a lot of glue on these Chinese rubber. These Chinese rubber are actually really heavy already. So if you put too much and you're using a sponge, you're actually going to put too much glue on here, which is, you know, to me, I don't really like it when my blade is top heavy. So this is how we do it. I'm just gonna wait until it dries, okay? So bear with me. I might fast forward to the drying process. Usually you will wait until it's dried up pretty good, until you see that this thing is clear, okay? Don't slap them on now because it's not clear yet. Right here's the white glue, all right? It should almost be like this when it's clear, okay? Like the side that you haven't put the glue on. So I'll wait here and then let it dry from there. In the meantime, I'm gonna close my bottle so I don't want this thing to dry out. Looks like the blade is dried up really good and the rubber here is dried up pretty good. And so I'm gonna slap this on, okay? I'm gonna slap it on like right now. And what I wanna do is I wanna look for which one that dries up pretty good. I think this one dries up pretty good and that one too because I did them at the same time. So here we go. Remember I told you you will need a cutting board, and here's my cutting board. All right, so I will put this underneath here, and then I'm going to actually lay my rubber. I'm going to turn this aside and put my rubber here, and I'm going to lay my racket like right at the edge here, okay? Make sure this thing is clean. I don't want no dirt or dust on it. Make sure you get enough off the table here so you don't want it to bottom out or hit something here where it's not level. So right now, what you gotta do is actually make sure that the label side is correct and going that way. What I want to do is actually I want to peel the rubber, the plastic that covers the rubber, okay? I want to peel that off. I don't think I need that. I think Chinese rubber comes with these. All right, put that aside. Holding the edge, okay? Because you won't be needing the edge. I'm gonna hold the edge, put it down, make sure the label's going the right way, and line them up, and just kind of like line them up really close, get it close enough. And if you want it like right there, okay, push it against the handle here, and then you just want to like tap it down, okay? I'm not gonna roll it just because I don't like stretching my rubber, okay? Tap it down, and then once it's down there, I'm gonna roll so the rubber sticks on there, okay? And in this case, you don't stretch the rubber, okay? I don't like stretching the rubber like some other videos that they're showing. I think when you stretch the rubber and you put it on a different racket later, it will actually be smaller, okay? So we're good here. Make sure that the rubber sticks on there good, all right? It's Chinese rubber, so it's like really sticky. I'm gonna flip this over. I'm gonna stand up, okay? When I cut, I wanna stand up. And I'm gonna make sure that the rubber is actually facing down this time, just like this, okay? just like that. Make sure that the handle's coming off on the side, so when you cut, it will actually, you know, doesn't get in the way. So what I usually do is get a really good sharp, you know, razor blade like mine, and if it's not sharp, it won't cut. What you can probably do, if you don't know if it's sharp, is just test the corner here first, okay? Okay, you want to hold it really tight, hold it firm, and just cut it. And if you think you can cut it, okay, that's good, all right? Make sure you cut it a few times, and if that's good, then you know it's sharp. So first things first, okay? What you want to do is actually start, I'm right-handed, so I'm gonna start this way going around clockwise. If you're left-handed, you might want to start going the other way. So kind of angle your blade like this. Don't go too straight. Go kind of like at an angle, maybe about 20 degrees, so you can get a good cut. You don't want a single cut. Make sure you take like 2 cuts or 3 cuts. Here I go. So I'm starting at this corner and just follow through along with the blade, okay? So I'm starting out slow, and I'm just gonna do a, you know, kind of like a pre-cut slow around the blade, just like right here. And when I get to the end, I didn't go all the way. I stopped like maybe 1/8 inch. I'll show you why I did that. Just because if you go all the way, there's gonna be like a little rubber edge that holds on to that, okay? So I went the second time, and so this side I want to actually go up on it like that. You know, personal preference, but I've been doing this for a long time, so I want a good clean cut. Here's my third time. It's Chinese rubber, so it might be like really tough, you know. I can see cutting almost through. All right, let me go one more time. Yep, you want to put a little bit more pressure now because you want it to make it go through, and just kind of, you know, lift wherever it didn't cut through. Just go in and follow through with it, okay? It's some really tough Chinese stuff here, man. All right, so it went all the way through. That's good. Now look at it, make sure that's the way you want it. It's pretty clean, you know. I like it because it's a clean cut, and just take off all the necessary, you know, unnecessary rubber that was along the way when you were cutting. And so I think we're good here, you know. It's pretty straight. I can see that's pretty straight. It's a professional cut. People like to use scissor, but I don't, just because, you know, scissor will actually create a mess, you know, just because it's not super sharp to cut around these. But that's what the Pro does, you know. They got tons of rubber with them, so they're fine with that. Right now I'm ready for my second side, and so I'm just gonna like dust this off with my finger really good and kind of angle to see if I don't see anything sticking on there. All right, so it's pretty clean. I got my Butterfly Free Shack Pro here. Just give it a little wiggle here. Like I said, you don't want to go too much. I think this is all you need, you know, something like that. Because if you put too much, you're probably gonna be wasting glue. All right, and then the foam here is still good from last time, so I'm just gonna use it. The other side of the foam, you can save it next time. Don't throw it away. You can actually use it 2 times, okay? So I'm gonna go across. Make sure I get it around all the edges. All right, I think it's pretty much in there. you want the handle to be as close as possible. So it's good. Just do a light coat, you know. You don't want to do so much that your blade's gonna be heavy from the cut from the Chinese rubber, because Chinese rubber are pretty tough, you know. I mean, cutting just tells me that it was tough. Yeah. So we're good here. I'm gonna just like, I want to go up one more time just to make sure I didn't miss the edge there. So I think it's good now. Just let this thing sit. I'll be back maybe another 5 to 10 minutes. All right. That rubber, or this side of the rubber, is ready to go, but I'm just waiting for this second side to dry up, okay, before I continue. And you repeat the process like I showed you on the first sheet here. For my second side, I waited maybe about, you know, anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes now, and so it's like pretty dry. I don't see any, you know, yellow stain. It's clear, so you know it's dry. All right, now we're gonna repeat the process again. I'm gonna put my rubber, I'm gonna put my blade, like I told you earlier, I'm gonna face it down and make sure that you got enough clearance on the edge of the table here, okay? So you want to take your rubber, flip it over, make sure you flip it to the right side. You see the label going down, and with this rubber, I gotta peel off the plastic sheet that's covering the rubber. All right. Smells good. Smells new. All right, so same process. I'm gonna use my chest to kind of hold the racket handle around me so it doesn't fly off on me. I'm gonna line up the label, make sure it's as close as you can, and kind of start at this angle. You don't want to flat, because it's gonna be really hard to take them off. It's gonna goof you up, okay? So make sure that's where I want it. Line them up, and then hit the edge with it. And then once you hit the edge with it, you can kind of drop it, and then just kind of, like I said, tap it, okay? Don't drop the whole thing at once. Just kind of tap it slowly down, and then once it's you think it's even out, use your roller. Just lightly roll it back and forth. Make sure it's pretty glued up down there. It's Chinese rubber, so it's gonna be like really sticky here, okay? It's like, this thing is kind of like magnetic, you know. It just rolls so tough. Okay, now we're good. Looks like that's good. I'm gonna roll this. I got done rolling, so I'm gonna lay this down and make sure when you cut, you have enough clearance to cut it. So you line up your cutting board, okay? And repeat the process. I'm right-handed. I'm gonna start with my right. I'm gonna do a few times just because these rubber are pretty tough, okay? So start out slow, line them up with the blade, and just follow through. Okay, just follow through. When you get good, you can go fast, but you know, just make sure it doesn't go off on you. And here I stop about maybe an 1/8 inch, just because I'm gonna go this way to get a clean cut. I don't want to leave a rubber nipple there, okay? So my second time, I'm going around. I can kind of hear it cutting, okay? And then I might just like go this way, going up, just because you don't want that nipple. So here's my third cut. I'm putting a little bit of pressure down there, and I can kind of feel that it's cutting through the rubber, but it's some tough stuff, so you might want to go a few times just to get it through. So here I might have to go one more time. go another time. There you go. All good. So you take them off and you look at it and you just like use your finger to take off the you know, excess rubber that was cut. It looks pretty clean, you know. You can see it's like really clean now, really super clean. So what you want to do is after you're done doing this, you want to use your rubber cleaner and just like clean a few times just to get rid of, you know, the new stuff. You know, that's what I usually do. Otherwise it gets so sticky, you know. I don't see any air bubble when you do a good job, and when you let it dry good, you shouldn't see any air bubble or any you know, big bubbles, or it should be pretty like straight and it should be pretty clean, you know. You don't want bubbling up, because when it bubbles it's gonna create issues, and if you play in a pro tournament or something like that, you're gonna be illegal, you know. So you want this thing to be as straight as possible, and I think I did a good job. Well, thank you guys for watching.